It's Teacher Ray again. I'm back to answer another of your How Group class teaching questions. Yay! So I have a question for you. Have you ever tried to learn another language? How long was it before you started looking up the dirty words in that language? I see. Yes. Well, our students can be guilty of similar bouts of natural curiosity. Which is great, right? But what do we do when they decide to practice some of that newly acquired language during our How GC lessons? Well, that's the topic for this episode. Here's the question. How do you deal with students who curse at each other in class, verbally, and in the group chat? Cursing, swearing, cussing, or the use of inappropriate language can take several forms in the online classroom. First, it can be visual, flipping the bird, peeling the banana. Yes, I'm talking about displaying the middle finger, which I'm not going to do. Second, it can be verbal, and not just in English, but also in Chinese. Third, it can be written in the chat box, again, in both English and Chinese. Oh, and in other languages as well. Our students are very clever. I had one that used Japanese to avoid the chat box's built-in translator. Fourth, there's one more. It combines the written with the visual. This is either written on the lesson page or written on a piece of paper and held up to the student's camera. Told you they were clever. In my opinion, there are two methods of handling inappropriate language in our online classrooms. My first approach is to ignore it and hope it goes away. Wait. Before you say ignoring it is a bad idea, please remember that children often use inappropriate behaviors, like naughty language, to get attention. Yeah, there are children that crave attention of any kind, good or bad. By ignoring the behavior, you kind of take away its power, right? There are, of course, those that use inappropriate language just to try it out or to see if they can get away with it. In some cases, ignoring it may not work, especially when the other students decide to join in. Oh no, now it's a foul language party. It's a cussing conflagration. I don't know. It's a cussing club. Oh no. If the inappropriate language continues or escalates, we must confront it in some way. That's method number 2. Here are a few tips and ideas for confronting inappropriate language. First, remember that we want to confront the language, not the student, okay? Students are never bad. Got that? Students are never bad. They may choose to behave in ways that are not appropriate for class, but they are not bad. Always react calmly. Take a deep breath, relax. If you make too big a deal out of it, it becomes a bigger thing. So always react calmly. Maybe explain that the language is not nice and add being nice to your classroom rules. If it's not already included, of course, right? How about providing some fun English substitutions for that inappropriate language? Like jumping jackrabbits. Oh, snap. Leaping lizards. Rats. Fish sticks. Balderdash. Oh, my stars. Suffer and succotash. Or just a good old holler. Ah! Let them get out their frustrations in more appropriate ways. If the behavior is interfering with the lesson, it may require consequences, like turning off the student's camera, muting their microphone, or blocking the chat box. Turning these things back on as needed to allow participation in the lesson, of course. Oh, if you know or suspect that the student is cursing in Chinese verbally, make it a class rule to use English in the class. If the inappropriate language is written on the lesson page, simply delete their markings or use the move tool to scramble it. And be careful not to share the student's screen or to allow the student to share their screen. Watch that chat box. You could also try rewarding those students that are not participating in the exchange of inappropriate language. Use those magic stars. Just be sure to let everyone know why the students are being rewarded, so they don't just get a random star and nobody knows why. Kind of loses its purpose. Or how about a round or two of Be Nice Bingo to remind the students that being nice is, well, nice. Oh, you can find the Be Nice Bingo cards in my shared Google Drive folder, linked below this video. I prefer to handle student behaviors myself, but there are times when we might need a little help. That's where the CT, or Chinese teacher, comes in. If the use of inappropriate language is proving unmanageable, send a note to the Chinese teacher to let them know what's going on and to ask them if there's anything they can do to help. Oh, please don't expect the Chinese teacher to magically fix everything overnight. First, they're not magicians or wizards or witches or fairies or, you know what I mean. It can take them a while to address the issue, okay? Remember, they have lessons to teach too. And last I heard, their cohorts consist of at least 12 students. Second, the students might not obey them any better than they're obeying you. If you feel the issue has been going on too long and the Chinese teacher seemed unable to help, and the problem is really interfering with the lessons, then you can resort to what I consider the last resort, asking support to notify the parents. And now it's time for wrap up! To sum things up, inappropriate language can be handled in two main ways: by ignoring it or confronting it. I generally escalate the methods I use to confront inappropriate language based on the escalation of the inappropriate language. The more often it's used, or the more students that engage in its use, the more action I take in confronting it. Inappropriate language occurs in classrooms all over the world and in every language. So, of course, as Howell GC teachers, we are all going to see and or hear it in our online classes at some time or other. And we want to be prepared to handle those instances as efficiently and calmly as we can. So I want to thank this teacher for submitting such a helpful question. Thank you. Do you have a question about classroom management? Or any other question related to Howell GC teaching? Then click on the survey link below this video and ask Teacher Ray! Yay! See you next time. Goodbye.